Hi, my name is Enrique Ramos, and today I'm gonna give a informative speech on communication. Thank you. I could share so much about communication, but it will take me so much time. However, I should touch on a few areas of communication that I believe are essential. Right, as it has rightly been stated that communication is inescapable, it is part and parcel of our daily lives. It is therefore significant that we all understand the underlying theory of effective communication. It is also true that communication is irreversible. Hence, hence the need to avoid bad communication. I'll begin by defining communication based on what it involves. Communication means transferring thoughts, information, and ideas through gestures, voice, symbols, signs, and expressions from one person to another. It is important to know the different types of communication, since selecting the accurate type to pass the message will depend on such knowledge. There are essentially two main types of communications. These are verbal and non-verbal communication. Verbal communication occurs through vocal or written words, which convey the message passed between the encoder and decoder. It follows that verbal communication can be broken into oral and written communication. Oral type occurs via word of mouth, while the written type happens via written signs and words in various languages. Nonverbal communication, on the other hand, refers to communication in other forms than word of mouth or writing. It occurs through symbols, gestures, colors, unwritten signs, body language, or facial expressions. A good example of this communication is traffic signals. Moreover, it's important to understand that your manner of communication influences how you get along with people and get what you want. Efficient communication skills help avoid conflicts as well as resolve problems. There are three major styles of communication, that is, aggressive, passive, and assertive. Aggressive communication is hostile and forceful, involving alienating messages. The communicator's tone and facial expressions used are not friendly. Passive communication puts the communicator's needs last. As the expresser, you either portray your needs or feelings, nor request what you want. Assertive communication, on the other hand, involves expressing your needs, wants, feelings, without demanding that things go your way. With assertive communication, there are high chances of getting your needs, minimal conflicts, and good relations maintained. Let us now look at the importance of communication. Communication is significant in a number of ways. First, knowledge and information spread among people through it. Many authors have written books imparting knowledge to their readers. Tutors also pass knowledge to their students through communication. Colleagues in companies share their ideas through the model. Similarly, companies share information with their counterparts through communication. Secondly, communication is a basic foundation of relationships between people. In the beginning, strangers start talking and familiarize with each other. Through more interactions and communications, the relationship grows. Communicating is expressing ideas and emotions as well as interpreting the thoughts and emotions of others. Consequently, affection or hatred toward people as well as positive or negative relationships develop through communication. Communication is therefore essential in human life, as it's the pillar that holds the society. To communicate effectively, it is essential to understand the barriers to preventing communication. First is the language barrier. Before encoding a message, the sender must choose a language that the recipient is familiar with. Secondly, the channel of communication could act as a barrier. Some messages are usually urgent, and some media, such as posts, are slow. It is essential that, before sending the message, the sender review it to check for ambiguity and make corrections accordingly. Today, I discuss what communication is, defining it as a transfer of thoughts, information, or ideas from one person to another. Then I describe the various types of communication: verbal, non-verbal. Next, I look at the styles of communication, which are passive, assertive, and aggressive, describing what they entail. Next, after that, I discuss the importance of communication in human life briefly. Last but not least, I give the various factors that may bar effective communication. In conclusion, it is essential to have excellent communication skills. Thank you very much for listening.